Hi, how are you? And welcome to vlog 82. Now, I was actually combining the weekend vlogs around about a same subject. I'm just looking because I actually took notes on this one because there's been something that I've been sort of wanting to delve into for a while. I covered it very briefly in one of the vlogs earlier on, and it's about money and financing and all of the things associated with that for your startup. And I had actually did a few vlogs on it over the weekend, and what happened was I got into talking about a subject and I talked about it so much that I didn't then leave time to talk about the other things around that. So initially I'd split it into 3 sections, and those sections were like your money for starting up, how you can, if you think you need 100 grand, how we can do it for £1,000, lots of things around that, what you don't need to spend money on, what you should spend money on and everything. Then the other thing was, once you are up and running, how you can try and avoid some of the costly mistakes that you make when you're actually kind of off the ground. And then the last one was about your financial goals for the business and the kind of negative connotations that might be associated with striving for something like financial freedom and being so keen to get to a place where you don't have any money worries. I'll explain more about it. It seems as if I'm saying that that's not a great thing. Obviously that is a great thing, but it's really how you look at it. So we're going to do a whole couple of vlogs on that. But really around the first part, around the money that you actually need to start up, I was trying to condense everything into one 10-minute vlog, and it went on to about 18 minutes. And I thought, let's just take the time and go through every single thing individually. Because I know you might not believe it, because I'm sitting here in one of our luxury Kuwait penthouses, although you might believe it based on how I'm dressed. I'm having a dress down day today. But it's really easy for me to sit here and say, it's totally fine, you'll be able to start up with no money, because I know you may look at the stage that we've got to and think, well, you don't know what it's like. I still remember exactly what it's like to start a business with no money. It was almost exactly 3 years ago, around about this time, that I set up my business. I set it up in, I formed it in December 2013, but I started working on the business from about September 2013, so it's nearly exactly 3 years ago. I still remember it. I still remember how skint I was. I still remember the feeling of not being able to do it, and I just want to convey that in the next few vlogs and how much I still associate with where you are. So if any of this is useful for you, and if there's any of you there who are in the process of considering starting a business at the moment, please comment below, please get in touch with me. If you comment below, I'll provide you with my direct email address, and please let me know what stage you're at and how much you think you need to start your business, and I will definitely be able to get it started for less than that for you. Because if there's one thing I know about business, it's how to get going with zero money, because that's really the only choice that I had. So there's a lot of things around this, and I've basically broke it down into sort of 5 key areas of things that you feel that you might need to pay for. And we'll do a vlog on each of these different areas, and I'll tell you exactly what you can do in each of these areas in order to avoid paying out as much money as you think you need to pay out. Also, we'll cover what the important things are in these areas that you really do need to pay for. So the 5 main areas that I've broke it down into is, number 1, most people, when they're doing a business plan, will include a certain amount of money for advertising, and that will usually be quite a serious chunk of change. The other one is office space, somewhere to work from. Training, so for example, if you're going into an industry that you don't know a lot about, some people will build in either 2 years and 3 grand to do a degree. In fact, it's more than that these days, isn't it? Or they'll build in, say, certain courses that they need to go on. The other one is employees. A lot of people will look at the first 6 months of a business plan and think, well, I need 6 employees. And then they're paying yourself a wage as well. So that should be an interesting one. I don't know whether you'll agree on all my beliefs around this one, but there's a lot to do with who do you pay first, who do you pay more, all that kind of stuff. So we'll go into that. But first of all, my intro vlog to this area, I wanted to just talk about your attitude to money and some of the beliefs that you're going to need to get rid of when you first start. And I read a very interesting article about this the other day, and they were basically talking about, it was a San Francisco Silicon Valley startup, and he had wrote this article about how the job he was in before he joined this startup, I think he moved from Australia or something, moved from Australia, went to Silicon Valley to pursue a dream of working for a startup, and he's working for a startup now, earns less money than he does now than what he did back home. So his standard of living, if you like, when you look at it money-wise, should be less. But actually his standard of living is so much more because he enjoys what he's doing. And there's never been a truer saying than if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. You've got to get rid of the idea that you're giving yourself another job, because if you end up with another job, it will be like when you set up your own business, it will be the worst paying, most stressful, highest number of hours ever, most not worth it job you'll ever have. And it's very easy to slip into the trap of believing that you've got yourself another job. Setting working hours of Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, it's not going to happen. Putting sort of limits on yourself as to, well, I shouldn't need to deal with that. That was somebody else. You've got to get used to the fact that the buck 100% stops with you. You're ultimately responsible for everything you do and everything that happens. I definitely found that to be the biggest change. And the other thing you need to get used to is the fact that money does not have the same value and doesn't have the same connotations and the same necessity that it used to have before. You're no longer working a month so that you get a paycheck at the end of it. You're working for 3 years so that you get a lifestyle at the end of it. So get rid of all your beliefs about trading time for money. You cannot put a value on how valuable your time is when you're starting up, and you will be paid zero for it. So for example, when you're setting up, you need to look at what you don't have, and probably what you don't have, if you're anything like me, what you don't have at the start, what I didn't have, is money, okay? So what do you have? Well, the position I was in was, I didn't have any money, I didn't have any experience, I didn't think I had any time, but I'll come back to that one. But what I had was nothing else that if it went wrong, I would actually risk losing. You know, I was in a job I hated. I was in a situation I really wasn't happy with. I was living a life that was absolutely close to miserable, and the only thing that was good about it was my friends and my family. But they were all doing their own thing. I wasn't doing anything for me. So if I tried it and it failed, if I tried it and I couldn't raise enough money, or if I tried it and nobody bought anything from me, even if I quit my job and I realised 2 months in I couldn't support myself, well, I could always get another job I hated. And that's what I always relied on. So I basically had this, it wasn't a safety net, but it was just no fear of failure, because failing at something that I wanted to do was definitely not as risky as failing at a life that I didn't want to live. So if you're in the same boat and you've got nothing to lose, then just go for it. The other thing that I thought I didn't have was time, right? We've all got the same number of hours in a day. I used to have a job that I used to leave my house at 7:30 a.m. to get to, because it took me an hour and a half of travelling to get from door to desk, right? So I would leave at 7:30 a.m. and I would get back at 7 p.m. 6:30. So that's it, left at 7:30 a.m, get back at 6:30 p.m, right? I didn't think that was enough time to set up a company. Then I looked at, what did I do when I get in? So I spent maybe an hour cooking dinner, maybe had a beer, watched about 2 hours of TV, and I would go to my bed about 10 o'clock, right? And what did I do when I got up? I would sleep for like 7-8 hours a night, and I would get up about 6, go for a shower, get ready. So I started just building in more and more time to both sides of my day, and I slept less. I know there's lots of theories out just now about how important sleep is, and sleep absolutely is important, but when you're working for a very short period of time towards something that's going to change your life, you can definitely leverage sleep a little bit. So I went down to sleeping 4 and 5 hours a night, and I would catch up on my sleep sometimes at weekends. I stopped going out at weekends. I took holidays from my work just purely to work on my business. Thankfully for me it was setting up over Christmas time, so I just didn't do Christmas and New Year. I went to my dad's for a couple of hours on Christmas Day, but I didn't drink anything. I worked that night, I worked Christmas Eve, I worked Boxing Day, I worked New Year's Eve, I worked all the way through the night on New Year's Eve because I would have been up all night partying, so why couldn't I stay up all night working? So you're going to make sacrifices, but they weren't monetary sacrifices. I was still earning a wage, and actually I was spending less because I wasn't going out all the time. So that's some of the things that I had. And the other thing that I had was an insatiable work ethic, a drive and a determination like I'd never had before, because I'd got to that stage in my life where I was working so hard at a job that was never going to go anywhere, and it was the most frustrating experience of my life. I bet there's some, if you're thinking of setting up a business, if you're watching this, I bet there's something in your life that you feel like you're giving everything to and it's not working. Because if it was working, you wouldn't be here. You'd be watching vlogs about, I don't know, how to spend all the money that you make in the job you love. Is there vlogs about that? I'm not sure. I'll need to check that out one day. But you're here because I think you're in the same position as me, because you were looking at it and going, I don't really have any other choice. I don't know what else I'm going to do, and this is really my only option. So if this is your only option, for the next, I'm going to upload all of these vlogs today, but for the next couple of hours, I want you to, if you're watching these vlogs in order, take a break, look at exactly how much money you can devote to this. Realistically, over the next 3 months, how much money do you have? Write that number down, and then what we're going to do when we go through the next five vlogs, is we're going to work out exactly how much we're going to need to spend and add up. And I'll try and do this for lots of different industries, because I understand building an app is different from building a service. And as we're going along, let me know what business it is you're in, what it is you want to set up, exactly how much money you think you've got, and you can private message me, it doesn't have to be public, exactly how much money you've got, exactly how much you think you need, and I am almost 100% sure I can get you set up in business for what you have rather than what you need. Don't come back with £2, because I know you've got more than £2, okay? But yeah, does that sound okay? Cool. So I'm going to get cracking on with them. I will be doing the other 5 vlogs, which are around about advertising, office space, training employees, and paying yourself a wage. I will do them, I'll upload them, and then after that what we'll do is we'll have a vlog based on different types of service industries, tech industries, and everything like that. So send me all your details in, send me what you're looking for, and I will try and incorporate that in over the next few days for you. And I look forward to speaking to you soon, okay? Good luck, speak to you soon, bye bye.